4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive.
But I just wasn't expecting it to this level. So just were you surprised at all by the news?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't very surprised because I think you could kind of tell in the tone and the way you. But I think he alluded to that. I think it was last year or earlier this year.
Yep.
But I mean, regardless, I think even if you had him for a year, say you're a freshman or you transferred in, you only got him for this past season. I think those are lessons that those guys will probably take on wherever they go.
Yeah, and you just think about it. I mean, I think he's had over or just under 50 first rounders alone, which is just insane to think that you sent, I think it was 44 to be the exact number, maybe even 45 guys to go ahead and grab a few $1 million because you're that good. You know how to develop them. You look at the quarterbacks. At times they've had Hurts, Mac Jones, 2 future NFL quarterbacks on the same roster.
Tua,
yeah. Can't forget about Tua, who's been struggling a little bit for the Miami Dolphins, and I want to talk to you about that as well. But in other news, Nick Saban's leaving, Pete Carroll as well.
Yeah, my goodness.
Were you surprised with the Seattle Seahawks deciding to move on from Pete Carroll?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how well they did this year. They're
9-8, still above 500.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, he's the I would say probably one of the, I'm not sure with the Seattle Seahawk history, but I'm pretty sure he's
been there for really
one or two top of all time. Yes.
He's got a Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, is that their only one?
Yes.
Okay, so he's the one who put him in that conversation, and definitely could have went back to back those years, but they would just
okay. Yes, never mind. Excuse me. The Seahawks went back to back in Super Bowls, actually winning a couple of them. So how many did they actually play in here? So yeah, but like you're saying, it was Pete Carroll to be that guy to kind of make that momentum. I'll try to figure out which one of these Super Bowls you went back to back on.
Yeah, but I just think being a player and knowing what a player's coach looks like, a guy you want to play for, a guy that has the respect of the locker room, the guy who brings energy to meetings, brings energy to practice. He's I don't know how old he is, but he's
72.
72 before every practice. He's running gassers. He's the energy bug for the team, and he's 70, 60 plus years old. You know what I'm saying? So he sets a standard. And I remember Steve Kerr was actually talking about when, before he took the Warriors job, that he was talking to Pete Carroll about how to coach and how to get the best out of his players. And it was just an awesome conversation here. And, Pete Carroll plays, as a coaching for football, but the principles that he coaches by also it doesn't matter what sport when you talk about coaching. So just knowing that he's that guy, man. He's the guy who started in Seattle. And if they ever get back to where they were, Legion of Boom defense, with a strong running game, I think you credit Pete Carroll for eventually getting him there.
Yeah, and he'll still be part of the franchise as more of an advisor role, so he's not pulling the plug, but I still thought, you mentioned it, he's 72, but I mean, he acts like he's 50, 40, and maybe even younger than that. I mean, he's running gassers at 72 years old. The guy's all there. It's nothing to me with an age thing. I think they're just ready to move on. But yes, it was back-to-back Super Bowls. They didn't win them back-to-back, but they made it to back-to-back Super Bowls. Obviously, the one they won in dominant fashion might have been one of the worst Super Bowls to watch, whereas they beat the Denver Broncos 43-8 for everyone who remembers that game. It was pretty much over by the first half. Let's go to another head coach here. Vrabel gone.
Oh, goodness.
That's another one to me that seemed pretty egregious. I thought he's a guy that did everything he possibly could with the roster, put the Titans back on the map. He had that year where Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. Titans upset him first round.
Yeah. It's tough. I've seen some former players from the Titans come out and tweet about it and saying what's going on in Tennessee. But, football is a crazy game, and it's a cruel game. It's a cruel game, and there's not always a real understanding of why things are done the way they are. Obviously, a lot of things are because of money and things like that. So I've just heard nothing but positive things, and that's a really player's coach. He played, damn near 15, 16 years in the league and played for Bill Belichick, played for these great defensive forces and was a leader on those teams, and then going into coaching. So obviously nothing but respect to him and what he's established. And another organization would be happy to take a coach like that.
You mentioned the Legion of Boom. Vrabel to the Seattle Seahawks. I kind of like that.
Wow. I mean, I didn't think about that. I mean, you bring in, you have some pieces. You have Witherspoon. You have Diggs. I mean, Bobby had 180 tackles this year. I don't know when it's going to stop. I don't know when it's going to stop. But I think you continue to build pieces around a guy. I think you get maybe a couple more pass rushers. I think you get a young backer that can learn under Bobby, kind of like a Jack Campbell was for Iowa. A piece like that, maybe draft a guy, bring him in. But start to bring those pieces together, because guess what? You have one of the loudest fan bases in football.
Yeah. I'm forgetting the name of the stadium.
Or the what is it called?
Loom. It's like something Loom Field.
It's something, but they have, I mean, they have like mini earthquakes every third or fourth down. You know what I'm saying? So I think just getting some pieces around there. I think Gino's, playing good ball. I mean, what are you going to do with, is it time to move on from Tyler Lockett? I don't know, but I mean, he's having a productive year. I think you get a good back with what's his face, the young bull from Michigan State, Kenneth Walker.
The third.
He's running very, very well. And then you got the tandem with the guy from UCLA, the light-skinned brother from UCLA, but they're running very, very hard.
Still got Metcalf out there.
Still got Jackson Smith from Ohio State. He obviously broke a wrist and didn't get to play as much, but I mean, he had like, I think he had I'm pretty sure he had 2 game-winning touchdown receptions. So, I mean, if you see the potential of the offense, I think it's close.
Yep. Couple from the text line here again. 402-464-5685. You got former Husker tight end Chancellor Brewington to my left here, host of the show as always. Thunder Knock Collins, as we're talking about Nick Saban. Don't forget LSU. Yes, had to stop there as well. It was great there as well.
Yeah.
And then Chris Raff helping us out here, who just had the Wide World of Raff. Lumen Field. We're close.
Lumen
Field.
Lumen, okay.
Yep. And
okay.
He's also just the one. He, being a Broncos fan, says Russ threw interceptions the next year. Talking about that Denver Broncos game.
Oh, man.
But nonetheless, it is just one of those things where 2024 has been off to a hot start in terms of the coaching carousel. Pete Carroll gone. Vrabel gone. Nick Saban gone. Bill Belichick? Is he staying?
I don't know. I think obviously this year has been rough. Things haven't panned out the way I'm sure they thought it would, or maybe this is what they thought would happen. I don't know. I don't know what their mindset is. I know probably in the front desk they're probably thinking, okay, I need a piece here. I need a piece here.
Mainly on offense. The defense was good for the Patriots. I didn't see a whole lot of problems defensively, but like you're saying, I think offensively, it's where they had to be looking. With Bill Belichick, though, he might be the guy that surprises us. And despite all the noise of him possibly leaving, watch him be the guy end up staying.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a football guy. Based on, I mean, everything I've seen from a very, very, very far. I think he's a football guy, and I think he loves football. So why not stick with football, right? Why not stick with football?
Yeah, and he's pretty damn good at it. So I think, with the Tom Brady saga, I still think that wasn't Tom Brady helped, but I think Bill Belichick's still a really good coach, and I'd be nervous if I'm the Patriots to force him out if I don't need to. We talked about it a little bit before when we're looking at teams like Nick Saban in Alabama. Nebraska was in that position at one point in time with Tom Osborne leaving.
Right.
It can go south really quick. Maybe it wasn't Frank Stolage. Maybe you can argue it's different coaches, but at some point the fires, the hire, fire, going back and forth like that. When your margin of error is that thin, when you are taking the shoes of a great, you see that in Ryan Day, they're not cool with losing to Michigan. Still a good program, but people are calling for his job, and he's still, arguably pushing for the college football playoffs every year. Where do you see Alabama in the next 4 years? Do you think that, Nick Saban, I'm sure he'll have some input on who the next guy is going to be. Do you have faith that Alabama handles this turnover well, that they can keep on kind of that same dominance that they've been on?
Man, bless the soul who has to take that job.
Yeah.
My goodness. I don't know how you follow that up. I don't think you try to. I think
Especially with Georgia getting better every year too. That's not fun.
But if you're the Bama next coach, I don't think you try to hey, I need to be like Saban. I think there's a standard. I think you have to follow the standard.
Yes.
I think you follow the standard, and that will guide you to the wins. And that will guide you to the program success. But it's going to be interesting because Bama's always been the not flashy, just we're who we are. We have bigger, faster, stronger, but we still are very disciplined in what we do. As other teams are bigger, faster, stronger, but they waver on the they bend on the principles of alignment, assignment, keys, and all that stuff. But Saban's programs usually have been very disciplined in that. So it's going to be interesting to see if you get a rah-rah guy, like, or do you get a very calm collect, like
Mike Riley, kind of chill vibe.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Are you going to get a younger coach? You're going to get an older, experienced guy that came from a winning program, or are you going to take a young guy on the Bama staff, or a coach that had been at Bama, maybe an OC, or maybe an NFL guy? You never know. Was Vrabel come in and coach Bama?
Good. What do you think about Lane Kiffin taking the Bama spot?
I don't think
coming from the coaching tree of Nick Saban. We're talking about on the wide world of Raf. That one seems pretty good. Dabo Sweeney's another name that's kind of getting thrown out there.
Yeah, but the Kiffin, I don't think that fits Bama though.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because Kiffin's a lot more he's more of the rah-rah that you're talking about, especially on social media. He's really picked that up as of late.
He's very, very vocal on there. And I don't think that's not Bama, I don't think.
No.
Whereas that Nick Saban, so like it's hard to differentiate whether it's Bama or Nick Saban, So, I mean, either way, I'm sure Saban will, have some type of say in what goes on there.
Yeah, it's interesting too because you're already seeing a lot of their key commits, or not commits. Some of their key guys already looking to hit the portal. A few of them already have that. It's interesting. Do you think? I mean, they're going to have to name a coach within probably at least bare minimum a couple weeks because you're going to have all these guys hit the portal. They don't know who their head coach is going to be.
Yeah, and everyone's coming back. I'm sure Bama starts school probably in the next week or so.
Yeah, I'm sure they're right on pace with what UNL is because UNL I think starts in a couple, maybe even less than a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, I think 20-some. So yeah. I mean, the decision has to be made. I'm sure this was a talk midway through year. I'm sure this wasn't. So. Yeah, I'm sure this wasn't sprung on Bama like, oh my gosh, like. I'm sure they've already been looking. They probably already have the guy.
At least in talks with him for sure.
Yeah, they probably already have the guys. Probably narrowed down between one or two people, I would assume.
And I think it was one of the things where, like you're saying, Nick Saban, maybe he didn't think it at the beginning of the year and wanted to see how it went, and maybe midway through. But I'm sure the AD and Saban were aware. It's just the players. You don't want to distract the players with that news mid-season.
Yeah, I've been through that with the Frost to Mickey thing, and that's beyond tough, man. It's beyond tough because, when that piece changes, then, there's a new coach and then he's going to do things a different way. And it's just a whole whirlwind of different philosophies and different principles, all trying to get the same thing done. But it's just kind of tough sometimes.
How did you guys stay together when Mickey Joseph became the head coach? Because you guys played what most people thought, some of the best football of that season. When he took over, you guys really gelled together, rattled off a couple of Big Ten wins in a row, something which we just hadn't seen it at Nebraska for a while. So what was the key to you guys for just gelling together and playing good football down the stretch?
I would say it was the leaders mixed in with the support staff. Strength staff was great. Coach Duval did a fantastic job of keeping us together. He gave us a analogy that I'll continue to say. He described it as and this is no disrespect to any veterans, but this is the example he had given us, was when bullets are flying on the battlefield, and your commanding officer goes down, and second in command goes up, and now he's giving the directions, he's giving the commands. Do you say, well, I only served whatever? No, you served the purpose. You serve the end. You serve the purpose. So it's not so much about who's in command. It's about what we said we were going to do from the beginning. And obviously, we were short of many of times, but just the fact that we were able to go out to practice and have juice the way we did, and to love the grind, and to embrace the new, embrace the challenge. I think that's what it was. And obviously there were life lessons in that, where the day by day actually meant something. Like the day by day really meant something, to say, day by day we get better and better. Well, there was a time and point where we really had to be day by day with everything we did, because we didn't know all of a sudden, okay, our DC gets fired. Okay, we got a position change here. Okay, now we're lifting here, we're practicing here, we're full pads every day, we're tackling, we're 9-on-7, we're doing this. So it was just a change up, a curveball throughout the whole year. But shout out to the guys, shout out to G Nelly, Travis Vokalek, I'm forgetting it, Casey Thompson.
Casey still got a year of eligibility, right?
Yeah.
Is he, because he transferred out of FAU? Did he land anywhere yet? I'm
not sure. I've spoken briefly to him, but I don't think he knows where he's going yet. But
another wide receiver that, damn it, they took a beating to be a Cornhusker. So shout out to Casey Thompson, Adrian Martinez. I think both of those guys played through some pretty significant injuries, but yeah, man, that's powerful. Yeah. Do it for the purpose.
Yeah, do it for the purpose, man. Things change. That's life, though.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were talking about the other day, I think, or maybe I was talking to someone else, but that's what football and life has, these very similar things. And I feel like football is obviously on a way bigger stage, and the moments have a little bit more impact when you mess up, but it's the same principles in life, that do your job, execute, come into work every day with a good mindset, with a positive attitude. You bring that to life, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, this is the same thing. Like, but that's what's awesome about the game of football, and that's why I think that's why I know I love it, and that's why I think a lot of people love it as well.
Yeah, it's one of the most interesting sports, especially when you get to the NFL level. You could be having your 21-year-old quarterback to your 50-year-old kicker. Like, it's just such a wide range. Football is one of those team sports that collectively, it's why I think it's such a fun sport to watch. Like, all 11 guys got to be in sync. Crazy plays can happen at any moment. And even we talked about that Washington-Michigan game. Even though Michigan looked dominant, there was still an avenue for Washington to somehow win that game. And that's the beauty of football, and that's kind of the grind you got to go through. But nonetheless, we do got to go ahead and throw it to our first break here. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington, the host, as always, to my left. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got a couple of more segments up next, so don't go anywhere.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run a little bit. Speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see much.
It's also. Oh,
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down. I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a parentheses or
too many commas over there.
Too many, come on. Run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design. Take a computer course. Learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
It's phishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer or you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Just went through some news here. Obviously, went through the coaching carousel. Nick Saban on his way out from Alabama. Fun fact, 0-2 throughout his entire college football career against the Cornhuskers. So that's one that Saban was never to get on. I'd have to double check there. That is off a Twitter post. So let me do some double check and don't take that completely for granted. But definitely something intriguing to go ahead and look at. If you guys want to join the show ever, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961 as well. But Chancellor Brewington, I got to ask, did you have the opportunity to watch Nebraska basketball take down #1 Purdue last night?
I mean, we watched it a little bit just through the score updates. But I actually I was training. When was this? The game was yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was last night. We watched some of it in here. And If for my situation, most of the times at night I have to go back home, rewatch the entire game, highlights at least, to make sure I get the full sense of it. But
yeah. So I came into training this morning, and everyone was talking about it. And then I got to see some guys from the team that I follow. They posted some stuff. So I mean, shout out to them. That's huge. I saw people storm the court. I saw Coach Rule storm the court with AD Trav. So shout out to them. That's amazing. That's awesome.
I think that might rank as one of my favorite Husker moments of all time. Like, it's up there.
Wow.
Think about what the programs have been.
So is that Purdue's number 1 in the nation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah, really big time.
That's big time.
I mean, that's like Nebraska football going out there and beating Georgia or Alabama or Michigan.
Yeah. So how many was the Purdue record?
They are now 14-2. They're 2 losses.
2 losses. What's the other loss?
Starts with an NU is their school abbreviation. They're 0-2 against teams with NU abbreviations.
What was it, Northwestern?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Northwestern surprisingly got one on them as well. But
is Northwestern good this year?
They're not bad. They're not great. I think that's a little bit surprising. I'd have to double check. I think Northwestern just played really, really well shooting wise.
Right.
And it was a road game for Purdue, but nonetheless,
that was a comfortable win too.
16.
Yeah.
They won it by 16 points.
A comfy win. Who was the box score look like for points?
So for Nebraska, the leading scorers it was kind of, once again, it's Nebraska-esque. It's been a collective effort. Multiple guys on the starting lineup adding production. Rink Mast had 18. The leading scorer was Keisei Tamanaga, the Japanese Steph Curry, as people like to dub him, with 19 points. Only took 12 shots, 5 of 9 from the 3-point line.
My goodness.
Tough threes too. I mean, we saw some of the highlights in here. The release speed he has.
Yeah, coming off screens, coming off curls.
It's up there with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on the trigger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he's as good a shooter as those guys, but how fast he can get a shot off.
Yeah. And how accurate it is. It's pretty crazy.
He had 2 threes where they went down and they're so pure. You know, when you drain a shot so well that the net goes down, it swishes back up and hangs over the rim.
Yeah.
Happened twice.
Wow.
Like, that's how you know it's a good shot.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a good stroke. He has a really good stroke.
Yeah. And then some other key factors in there. Shout out to CJ Wilcher. He didn't take a lot of shots, but he came in off the bench 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 4 for 5 overall. And just how about this? 60.1% from 3 on the night.
As a team. Wow.
They shot 14 for 23 on the 3-point line compared to Purdue's 13 for 33. And you got to give Nebraska's defense some credit. They wanted to go through Zach Edey. Rink Mast went at him early. He took an early shot to stretch him out, and then a few times inside said, I know you're 7'4", but I got a couple of these European moves I'm going to pull out on you.
Right.
I was really impressed by Rink Mast. Early on, he was the guy. And then Sam Hoiberg in the first half, he has a steal, leads to a layup, had a couple steals that turned into layups. Just all around, it's just an awesome game. I don't think there's a single guy on the court. Even Jamarcus Lawrence, who finished the game 0-2 with 0 points, he still had key moments where he wasn't forcing anything. He was just making sure he wasn't getting the assist numbers, but he was making the pass to the assist.
Right.
You know, just constantly keeping the whole thing in flow. And yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be serious here. I think that might have been one of the best moments I've had just as a Husker fan.
Right.
In a really long time.
Man, that's a big moment for the city, man, or the state, or all fans across the world. Because I mean, you go
Japan, they're going
Japan,
nuts.
yeah. I mean, it's awesome, man. I think that is a testament to the work they're putting in, and obviously there's a standard that they're playing by. And this is what Coach Whipple always said, and he said, if you score more points than another team, you win. So
that sounds like something Whipple would say.
Yeah. So all that defense is good, but you score more points than the other team, you're gonna win. So shout out to them for making that ball go in the basket.
Yeah. Oh man, 88 points against the number 1 team in the country, 61% from 3. And that's the thing that excited me the most is Purdue didn't come in there looking like Purdue was having an off night. That still looked like a good number 1 team in the country, but Nebraska just played better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gives me a lot of excitement. You didn't beat a Purdue team that was down through injuries or having a bad shooting night. They still shot 42% from the floor, 40% from the 3, 73% from the free throw line. So again, Purdue wasn't playing horrible basketball by any means. Nebraska was just playing better. They outscored them in the first half and they outscored them in the second half to just completely dominate the game, 88-72. They had time to just go ahead and let the air leak out of the ball to end the game. It was a comfortable win, and you talked about it. Matt Rule storming the court. Do you have any moments when you were playing where you had the opportunity to storm the court, field, or even been in a situation where it happened to you in high school? Because I never got it. Never had a situation where we had a reasonable.
Oh, I hit a buzzer beater in high school.
Okay.
And against they were probably a top 5 team in the not in the country, in the state, and then everyone stormed the field. I mean, stormed the court and was trying to grab.
What's that feeling like?
It was cool, man. I mean, I was blessed that I hit a few in high school, so it's pretty fun. I think basketball is such an intimate sport to where, you know, there's no helmet, there's no whatever. The fans can see what you look like. You can hear the fans cheering. You can hear the trash talk from the bench, from the whatever. You're right there in it. So I mean, I love the game of basketball, man. I think that obviously helped me a lot in athleticism. Just being able to move, being able to jump, being able to do things on that side of the end. But man, shout out to Nebraska basketball.
Shout out to Fred Hoiberg and his son Sam Hoiberg and the rest of the Nebraska basketball team. It was kind of cool, right? Because his former school he used to coach at, Iowa State, they take down number 2 Houston the same night.
Wow!
So it was a Hoiberg kind of day where all of his connections. And then I believe there's some family relevancy to the last time the Huskers were able to beat a number 1 team. I think it actually links back to, I want to say, his grandfather. I'd have to double check me on that. Sorry, Heyman text line, correct me if I'm wrong. I've been hearing it quite a bit throughout the day. But in case I got any of those details missed up, go ahead and feel free to correct me. But really was a historic day for Nebraska basketball. You don't get a whole lot of opportunities to beat the number 1 team in the country. In fact, that was the only time they're going to play Purdue. And up next, they got Iowa on Friday. So
how's Iowa this year?
Okay, offense, does not play a lick of defense. So
it doesn't seem like Iowa, man. What's going on over there?
They're in a little bit of a down rut. You remember Luke Garza for Iowa?
Yep.
Which, by the way, I don't know if people have been paying attention. Luke Garza, after he went to the NBA, people were unsure of his ability, and he went down to the G League and is just dominating. He had a stretch where he was averaging like 30 points a game.
I love it.
Yeah. So Luke Garza, he's actually starting to get things done at the pro level, it seems like. But yeah, Iowa, it should be a win. And you look at that Minnesota loss we had earlier, Minnesota's actually playing really well. You know, they haven't played elite opponents, but they're not losing to anybody.
Right.
So I think, you know, that's another team where it looked like a really bad loss early on, but now you're not sweating about it as much, especially if you can throw this quad 1 win against the number 1 team in the country and you beat Michigan State early. I think they're going to keep winning games. Wisconsin hurts, but you'll have a chance for them back at home. Iowa, you will not have another chance. So you got to beat them Friday. Purdue, that was it. We got the series over Purdue for the year. We don't have to face them again. So, I mean, it is just a great moment to be a Husker. What were some of those moments for you, whether it was playing or even just watching some of the other programs while you were a Husker, or even, you know, past graduation? What were some of those moments for you as a Husker fan?
I think ranking number 1 would probably be the Iowa win.
Yeah. That's another one of my all-time moments. That felt good.
Yeah. I think that was cool, man. Understanding what that meant to people, kind of not even during the win. It was more so after, like, oh, you guys got the win. Like, and I'm like, what? I don't, you know, like whatever. But I think the 21 year where we're having a good game against them, then we lose. People are informing me of what the history actually was, how the trophy and how that really came about.
They seem to chirp a lot at you guys when they play. I'll say this much. Does Iowa chirp a lot? I feel like I always see them mouthing off. It could be, you know, both sides, which makes the rivalries fun. But does Iowa talk a lot? I know their kickers do. Their special teams seem to be the loudest members on the team.
I'm not sure. They're trying to do these kicks pregame and they're not moving. And I'm like, man, you know, we get the 50.
Yeah.
Why are you kicking on the 40? So we get 50 yards. Why are you kicking on the 45? It don't make no sense. But I mean, yeah.
So wait, they're kicking on the 40 and you're guarding the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Each side gets 50 yards.
Exactly.
Our kicker doesn't get to go down back there. And,
pretty much it's math. I mean, I don't understand what the deal was, but understanding the what we're playing for and understanding the rich history behind it, man, that's what makes games.
Yes.
When you know the history. Okay, like there's a little, if there wasn't already a notch to turn, maybe I can turn it up just a little bit more. And there's a little bit more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it with Wisconsin. That game pisses us off for some reason. All Husker fans, like losing to Wisconsin even though it's not the quote unquote rivalry that you might say that what Iowa is, like there's still those games. Minnesota's kind of getting in that range now with PJ Fleck, where you just really can't stand losing to him. And it's what makes the game fun, right? You saw it this year with Auburn and Alabama. Auburn on paper had no business being in that game, but it's a rivalry. Things just work out differently, and they were there pushing them at the very end there. When it comes to some of the rivals that you've gotten to face, obviously Iowa being the big one, how many days after were you kind of realizing how important that was for fans? Because you said it wasn't right away. It took a few days.
I mean, man, funny story. So right before the game, I'm you know, I don't usually go on Twitter or whatever before the game, but I don't know why. For some reason, I didn't delete the app before the game. So I'm on Twitter and I'm kind of just checking around the country. I got a lot of friends who play a lot of different places, so I'm just checking in on them. And all of a sudden, I get added in like 3 tweets, and I'm just like, hey, like what, whatever. So I check them out, and it's like, it's a quote tweet from the year before when I hit this guy. Then he's like, one of the Iowa accounts is like, hey, if Chance Brewington plays today, which I don't know if he will, whatever. I don't know what that was, but I don't know if he will.
Throw shade.
Yeah. I don't know if he will. But I hope he comes like this again, or this Iowa defense is going to handle him, whatever. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. There was just a lot of things don't get to me, but I was just turned up after that. Now I just want blood, man. I just want blood. I just want blood. There's nothing else to talk about, man. But even that, like, you got rival fan bases going in. You got people in the comments saying things. And now I'm kind of like, okay, I got to put my phone away. Cause now it's a night game. It was a night game and
late evening.
I think
4. I want to say it's like 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah, 5:30, and then all of a sudden it's 9 a.m. and I'm already turned up. They already added me at 7:30, and I'm pissed off the whole day. And then Trey had that tweet and say I woke up pissed off this morning. So
and he did.
Yeah.
Oh man, shout out to Trey Palmer for the season he had. And I'll tell you this much: how soon did you know that Trey Palmer was an NFL talent? It was the Purdue game. I was like, okay, this guy's insane.
Well, I mean, you saw. I mean, we got to see what he did in spring, and we got to see the explosiveness and
speed. I'm sure stuck out right away.
Yeah, I mean, we ran routes when he first got here. The first week he got here, and he tried to come off as a quiet guy. I'm like, dog. Looking back on it, I'm like, bro, why you whatever? But I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. But you know, he's a great talent. And we used to talk before games, and I used to try to pick his brain because that's just what I like to do. I just like to get to know my teammates, and one thing he would always say is just like, man, it's just football. I've been playing this my whole life. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. It's just a game. He said he got a Louisiana accent. Hey, bro, it's just a game. It's just, it's just a game, man. But it's awesome to see what he's doing now and the career he's gonna have, man. Is a testament, man, to his love for the game and the way he approaches it man, it's something. It's a piece you can take from, man. I can take from him. I can take from the way someone else approaches the game. I can pull from everyone's approach and make it into my own. But shout out to Trey Palmer, man. He's a fantastic talent.
Yep, and we got to go to our next break here. But yeah, shout out to Trey Palmer, and he's in the playoffs. He's in the NFL playoffs. Yeah. He's facing the Philadelphia Eagles, and I like my odds with Baker Mania and the Buccaneers. The Eagles haven't been solid. It looks like teams have got a little bit on the page on how to slow them down. So, shout out to Trey Palmer. Wish him success in his first NFL playoff game. Just an incredible time he had here as a Husker, and it didn't take but a couple games in the NFL for it to just right on path. I mean, he was catching touchdowns immediately. So best of luck to him as they got the NFL this weekend in the playoffs. But quick note from the Starter Heyman text line, unknown texter, appreciate the help. He said last night, the Hoiberg's grandfather's team beat the number 1 team sometime in the 50s. So that is the correlation.
Wow.
So his grandfather also, and that's kind of part of the correlation, I believe, is why he really wanted to come back to Lincoln. He's got that kind of, what do I want to call it, family tradition back here. And, it's crazy. You would think sometime back in the 50s, the next guy to do it again is another Hoiberg back in Lincoln. So again, shout out to the Nebraska basketball team taking down the number 1 team in the country. And of course, we got some Huskers going to the NFL playoffs for the first time. So maybe I'll look up a few of those, make sure I don't miss any of them. But we got to throw to our second break here on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, the host to the left, Chancellor Brewington. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
It's phishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, final segment here on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. The host, as always, to my left. To wrap this segment up here, we're talking about Trey Palmer having his first NFL career game, the former Husker wide receiver, obviously having a great run. But let's go through some of these games here. We got 6 wild card games in the NFL for the playoffs. You got 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday. I'm going to go through these games, and I want you to tell me which one reeks of upset. So we got the Browns versus the Texans. That one is
it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I don't know if I really could even call that one an upset. That seems pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
You got one of the older QBs and Joe Flacco versus one of the best young QBs in CJ Stroud.
What a story with the Joe Flacco though.
It's been fun to watch. Who would have thought that spending all that money on Deshaun Watson would go to waste? And well, I shouldn't say if he plays well next season, I guess it's not for waste. But Joe Flacco was the guy.
Yeah.
He's such a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get an interception or just a ball on a beautiful spiral, but it's entertainment to say the least.
Nah, for sure.
Who do you like in that one?
I mean, CJ Stroud is playing great too. They're pulling some things together and they're playing for their young head coach.
D'Amico Ryans. He's been doing great.
Yeah. So I think that's a toss up. I might go Texans. I like the storyline there. I'll go Texans there.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the Texans win it, but I'm just going to go ahead and lean on the Browns defense. The Browns defense has really been dominant about all season long.
Where are they playing?
It's in Texas. It's at Texans. So
okay, then I like Texas. I like Texas.
So they'll have the home field advantage. Yeah. But it'll be interesting, right? It'll be a good opportunity. I mean, for a rookie quarterback to not only make it to the playoffs in his first year as a starter, but win his first NFL playoff game as well. Definitely some storylines into that one. Moving on here, Dolphins, Chiefs. That is the second Saturday game. Dolphins on a bit of a downward spiral. Chiefs keeping their head above water, haven't looked overly impressive. Kelsey's numbers have definitely dipped, but I'm sure it won't be too long before that gets back to normal. This is the hardest one for me.
Yeah, because Chiefs aren't playing that good of offense right now. So and Tua, I don't.
Tua has been struggling throwing the deep ball.
And that's probably a protection thing. I haven't seen the games, but that's usually a timing and protection thing. So I would just say I would rely on Mahomes to kick it in.
Yeah.
To kick it in gear, and whenever he has the ball in his hands, good things happen. So
I think I'm going to go with the Mahomes effect. Yeah. It's kind of the same way when I think about the Lakers or any team that has LeBron James. Like, even if I'm not overly impressed by the roster around it, I'm like, you have LeBron.
Yeah.
You have
got the X
Mahomes.
factor. You got the X factor. Yeah.
And that X factor is 100% Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So even though it has been the best season for him, I think that's more indicative on just being kind of strapped with the least talent he's had in a long time in terms of the offense. But the defense has still been good. And Miami's just been struggling so bad down the stretch. I'm going to be really curious to see if they can bounce back, but that's a hard team to bounce back against. I'm going with the Chiefs as well. I don't think that one really speaks of an upset either. I'd imagine most people are leaning on the Chiefs. Moving on, we got 4 more games. We'll kind of rapid fire these. Steelers, Bills. Who do you got?
Bills.
Yep, me too. They figured out the run game. Steelers, they're not going to have TJ Watt. The defense has been good, but offensively, same story all year long. The Bills are able to fix their offense. The Steelers have not. So I'm rolling with the Bills on that one. Packers, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yep, I like the Cowboys in that one. Lions, Rams.
Lions.
Yeah, see, this one scares me a little bit. Raph almost convinced me. You look at the Rams, even though it hasn't been a great season, they have all the guys they need to put together a great game. They still got Puka Nacua. They got Eckler. Obviously, you still got Stafford. And who am I forgetting out there? I'm leaving out a key wide receiver. Kupp. Thank you. Kupp, who, even though this season he hasn't been as dominant as been in past, he still has all of that ability within him. So I think there could be a possible upset with the Rams in that one. But to wrap it up here, we talked about it a little bit already. Trey Palmer's first NFL game. You get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Baker Mania versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles.
Why do you like the Eagles in that one?
I think they're going to bounce back. I think Jalen Hurts going to put together a good game. I think they're going to bounce back. And my boy Cam Jurg, man, and I've never met Jack Stoll, but I've heard great things about him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few Huskers playing in that. Levante David as well. So
yeah, that's probably going to have the most Huskers in it.
Yeah,
I forgot to look that up, but that's probably the game to watch if you want to watch some Husker alumni.
Man.
But shout out to obviously all those Husker alumni out there, as they'll have an opportunity to play in the NFL playoffs. I might roll with the Buccaneers just because I know Jalen Hurts, his finger's hurting a little bit. That's not going to help him out, and they've just been really struggling down the stretch. So I think I'll pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Roll with Baker Mania one more time because I think if he flames out and they get absolutely blown out of the water, I don't think Baker Mayfield will be starting the next year. But nonetheless, that's going to wrap it up for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, the host, as always, Chancellor Brewington to my left. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition